One of your streaming destinations got disconnected. Go to settings and reconnect the account to continue.
That's for the YouTube. I'll fix that later.
I'll fix it later because I'm a big douchebag.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fat door.
All right, here we go. All right. Hey, welcome to episode 7 of Idiocracy Talk Radio. I'm Dr. B. We got Matt and we got Josh, or AKA LA is Burning Down, here for another episode of Idiocracy Talk Radio. We're going to be talking about LA riots. We're going to talk about money in the bank. We're going to talk about some crazy lady shit. And we're going to talk about some middle schoolers being told to dress like some crazy lady shit. Here on the episode of Idiocracy Talk Radio.
It's idiocracy, but you gon' see the value and respect though when you talk with me. So come on, baby, walk with me. It ain't a topic that the crew can't touch. Share our views and our vibe. What we hide? It ain't much. This ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Share our thoughts and our views, you can't stop it. Said this ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Idiocracy, tell us what's the topic. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Dr. B. We got Matt. We got Josh, a.k.a. LA is Burning Down, here for an episode of Idiocracy Talk Radio. Let's get it started with some money in the bank.
And that's why I said LA is burning down, because the favorite LA night did not take home money in the bank. They had the men's winner, Seth frickin' Rollins. Oh, there we go. I love it.
Keep going.
We got Seth frickin' Rollins with the win at Money in the Bank on the men's side. And then we've got Naomi, the wild card, coming out of the dark to win the women's Money in the Bank. What are your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Excited about who won Money in the Bank? Is there disappointment or what?
Naomi, I'm not really big on anymore. I mean, she's been around forever. I mean, they're starting to change her rule into a bigger hype rule, which I guess it's okay. You know, kind of like the New Day thing, you know. But as far as that, some fresh blood would be nice, honestly.
You know,
but as far as the guys, that's pretty well spoken. I mean, you could see it happening right there anyway. Interference happened left and right. Fatu, that was pretty fun. Seeing him go against his boy.
Yeah, I think they're setting that up for SummerSlam match. Jacob and Solo. Joe, what was your thoughts?
I didn't watch it. I'll be honest with you.
That's because you're, yeah. Anyway.
No, I mean, I was excited, though, because I know we're going to be talking about her here in a little bit, but Simone Biles was excited for WWE because, from what I understand, so that they have a story that meets 2025 ideologies. Is it, and Josh, you can back me up or not because you're the one that knows WWE or not, but from what I understand, John Cena is going to compete in the women's event, and he's gonna, you can't identify me.
Oh, we got jokes. We've got jokes. There's no jokes in wrestling. No, I'm just. So let's get it, Matt. I'm kind of with you on the women's side. I didn't feel Naomi was the one that should have probably won that. I would have liked to see probably Alexa Bliss make that transition, especially with the Wyatt Six finally coming back, and maybe you could turn that into a whole storyline with them. I would have been okay.
Yeah, but I don't think the Wyatt Six is as popular as they were.
No, I think
they might make a big comeback, but I don't see the story being big anymore.
I mean, they came back with a lot of fanfare 2 weeks ago when they showed up and then going after the tag title. But I mean, I would have liked to see that more integrated with Alexa Bliss, especially since you had the signs, you had the storytelling with the vignettes with Alexa Bliss already. It would have been
but I don't,
great to keep that going.
I, I don't see Alexa Bliss joining them.
Well, if you,
she's kind of playing her own part by Alexa Bliss.
but if you,
Not to the.
if you notice, there's some times with Alexa in her vignettes or anything, like that screen blanks and you see the White Six's symbol. So that they still have that kind of going on, but you're right. They've kind of left it to where it's more of her being on her own. I think they need to get her involved more. I would have liked to see Roxanne Perez take home the Money in the Bank. Bring that back into Judgment Day, and then you've got the animosity between Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and then Raquel Gonzalez. I thought that would have been a pretty good dynamic to see how that storyline unfolded. Does Dom turn on Liv?
I see her tag team up with somebody and taking those belts. Then the turn happens probably.
Yeah. I can see that going that way too.
Let's get to the main event, man, honestly though.
So,
that looked pathetic.
I don't think Seth Rollins needed that win. I think naturally you've got a pretty good storyline there with Jey Uso and Seth Rollins starting to heat up. You don't need it on Solo. He didn't need it. The one guy I thought needed it was where they actually had the event in LA Knight. He's been the hottest superstar.
It's like they're giving this guy a chance, but he's not succeeding at it. Let's just play him along a little bit. Like, he should have won it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think he should have won it. He needed it the most, and it seems like WWE they'll sprinkle him in a little bit just to give you a taste, and then take it away from you. And I think that's why a lot of fans still back him, and you hear his cheers throughout. I haven't heard many boos throughout his last run over the last year and a half, but it's like a stop and start, and that's how they ruin stars. He could be the highest merch getter besides Jey Uso. So, like I said, I don't think Seth Rollins needed it. I understand why they did it, to keep the momentum for that group going forward, to be that dominant heel group. But what's the end game for it? You're going to have Seth Rollins cash in on Jey Uso, maybe. Or you have him cash in and you've got a return in Roman Reigns or a CM Punk that costs him the title. I could see either one of that because of what happened with CM Punk, too.
Well, like I said, let's look at the main event. I mean, John Cena just like shit fighting that last match.
Oh, you want to go to that main event?
I get what you're saying. That was the main event of the night, last fight of the night. It just looked like it looks like they're just like it's just like rehearsal. Some of these fights.
Yeah, I don't like the end of Cena's career. I don't like how they're doing it. I don't like all the interference with the belt. I know he's supposed to be this massive heel, but what they have done to make him a heel hasn't worked. It's better, you know what? We tried to become a heel. Let's just freaking end it. Let's just make him be Super Cena again. I think that would play better than what it is now. But yeah, I mean, he can't.
That's the reason I think if Seth Rollins goes out for the belt, I see Roman Reigns right behind him fighting.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think Seth Rollins is going to cash in? Do you think it's going to be the Raw champ or the SmackDown champ?
Oh, Raw champ. Definitely Raw.
So you don't think he's going to go after Cena at all?
Monday Night Rollins? Definitely.
Well, they do have a draft coming up here in the next, I think it's in the next couple months. So he could be drafted to SmackDown. So you never know.
Oh, no. I mean, I think it's after SummerSlam the draft is.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know who they're gonna start. I think SummerSlam's probably gonna be Cody versus Cena again. I think it'll be that rematch. I think maybe a three-way match with a returning Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun, and I can't remember this other guy. And I think it's be CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe the three-way there. I think Jacob Fatu versus Solo. I think that's been playing off. I think that's the best storyline that WWE has right now is between Solo and Jacob Fatu.
Well, speaking of storylines, since Money in the Bank was in LA, we had some fights outside of the arena. Well, we could talk about that, the LA riots.
Oh, there's other fights happening in LA? I didn't know. That's news to me.
Joe looks like he's having fun over there. Throw Joe in this.
Joe, what have you heard about what's happening in LA besides the fans rioting that their LA Knight didn't win?
There's other fights going on in LA.
This is news to me. What am I missing?
Someone should let President know so he can send the National Guard to help out.
Oh, it's not just we lost Matt again.
Oh, see? Talk about sending in the troops.
Died. Jeez, all Pete's. So tell us what's going on in LA right now. What started these riots? Why is it escalating? Why is the National Guard? And it looks like now they're talking about Marine deployment. So U.S. soldiers on the ground.
Who's first of all, I'm gonna ask, who is saying Marine deployment?
Fox News has it on there. Trump takes decisive action against LA rioters with Marine deployment.
I'm trying to find here because
I didn't hear you guys left off that. I had to back out and get back in for some better audio.
No, we know. We were making fun of you because as soon as you heard troops were heading in, you dipped out.
You thought ICE was coming to your house.
Yeah.
They're going to try to deport you.
You don't pass as anything ICE wants. Trust me.
It worked.
Can you hear me now? All right. So over the weekend,
he gone again. He gone.
I was just kidding. ICE really does want him if that makes you feel better. So President Trump sent in National Guard troops to.
Let's go back. Let's start. What happened? Why it started?
Okay, it started because protesters started attacking ICE members. So ICE officers, demonstrators were blocking ICE officers. And actually, in some situations, and I believe this is around the country, not just in LA, but protesters were actually blocking regular police officers from doing their jobs. But anyway, so the protesters clashed with law enforcement and that were triggered by ICE operations in the area on Friday. It's gotten out of control. So, President Trump, of course, being nicer than he normally should be, he gives the governor of California an opportunity to fix things. And correct me if I'm wrong, but California is still run by a Democrat.
Yes, Gavin Newsom is a Democrat, and so is the mayor of LA, Karen Bass.
So that, I mean, let's face it, the harshest thing that these governors are going to do to a protester that is a fellow Democrat, because let's be honest, Republicans don't go out there and start beating up police officers or anything like that. But
that's a lie. January 6th. Just saying.
Those were embedded people. They were paid.
I was just letting you know. Yeah,
I know. Go ahead.
It's supposed to be a peaceful protest, correct?
Correct.
So they're trapping cops in like little car lots and to be scared and defend themselves. So it's not peaceful. But yet the Democrats again are trying to demonstrate how woke they are by coming at us, and Governor Newsom is letting it happen. Then when somebody steps up to him, he wants to sue him now.
So
the president, you're going to sue the president.
So here's the thing that I found ironic was Trump did say at one time that he doesn't have access to send the National Guard in to a city or state without that governor, without the approval of the governor. So him going above and beyond that, I think that's where Gavin Newsom is talking, to where maybe Trump is going above and beyond his authority.
Call of Duty.
But it's also, it is his duty to take to make the citizens of the United States safe. So,
I mean, I think he's the president in command, so he can command anything he wants to on those levels of law.
But I think that that's the difference between state and federal. Is the state has full right of the National Guard, the California National Guard. I don't think he's allowed to call them, but the regular National Guard he is.
So, say that again.
Trump cannot deploy the California National Guard without the governor's approval. That's what he said in an interview. He's not allowed to unless they do it.
And that's where
last time I looked at, the government was on a federal level.
See, here's the thing: is like Matt had said, the president of the United States is the executive
commander-in-chief.
Is the commander-in-chief. Thank you. Okay. In the executive office, the president of the United States has the right and the authority to deploy the National Guard. Here's the thing. There is no state National Guard. That makes no sense. Okay? You don't have a state National Guard. You have, like, for example, there are local, I'm going to look it up, tell you exactly.
But Josh, get to your point. Let's move on to the next step possibly could happen. Because the thing is, they were blocking a major highway too. So they're also endangering other people.
Well, and that's the big thing, Matt. That's the big thing. Like, people don't understand is they're like, oh, well, they're peaceful protests. Here's the thing. You're right. Under the First Amendment, you have a right to peaceful protest. Okay, but you cannot obstruct business. You cannot obstruct pathways. So, like, these people that were in the middle of the streets and blocking things, you can't do that. It becomes illegal at that point.
An unlawful protest.
It becomes unlawful.
Josh, your attitude's unlawful.
I try.
So, again, the President of the United States has the authority to deploy the National Guard, does not have the authority to deploy the State Guard. California State Guard is controlled by the California governor, but the National Guard, which, again, the governor was full of shit because the president absolutely has the right to deploy the National Guard.
So that's what I was talking. He doesn't have it's the State Guard. He's not allowed to.
Guard.
But
right.
The National Guard, yes.
And he has not deployed the State Guard. He has deployed the National Guard.
Yeah, but the problem was Governor Newsom was letting those rioters go crazy. When you see them burning cop cars,
hey, no, it was.
Let me finish. When you see Trump stepping in and playing the role of president, and you see Newsom not letting anything happen, like the police or anything, not stepping in to help out, Newsom didn't give a shit. Let's be honest. He didn't care.
Hold on.
Well, because
what I've seen is a mostly peaceful protest with nothing but 90% of the people protesting legally.
Okay.
There's some bad actors in there, but it was mostly a peaceful protest. Even if there's cars burning in the background. I'm literally just joking about that.
I know. Oh, I know.
I was being sarcastically
think Matt's
saying
having
that.
audio issues again.
No, I mean, Governor Newsom allowed the protests to get too much. They started destroying too much property. That's why Trump had to step in and do what he did.
Here's the thing, though. This is not the first time that California's governor has allowed protesters in California to become out of control, to literally vandalize, destroy, and then sit there with a straight face and say, oh, it's a peaceful protest. As shit is burning in the background.
And this ain't the first time that LA has been on fire, as we know a couple months ago when we had fires in the Palisades.
And I'll be honest with you, here's honestly what I think should happen. Rather than deploying the National Guard to, settle these riots and stuff like that, I think that the national money should be used to help evacuate any Republican or Democrat that wants to get the fuck out of California, and then the rest of the protesters can burn the whole fucking state to the ground.
Ooh, there we go. I don't know what's going on now.
What do you mean? Can you hear me?
Oh, that was me.
I can't see any
Did I
of
lose
you
you guys?
No, I can hear you now. No, I mean,
Matt, can you hear us?
I think a lot of it has to do. It's all politics. Everything about this country right now is politically motivated, and it's not helping. It's not about helping the citizens.
Political and racial.
Yes, it's not about helping the citizens that are here that just want to go do their daily lives and just live. No, I mean, I have to be called a racist. I got to be called homophobic. I got to be transphobic, whatever it is, because I have a different ideology as somebody else. And it shouldn't happen. Just because I voted for one guy, I shouldn't be torn down that way. You know what? I should be able to have a difference of opinion than you. And it's okay.
I don't even have to know who you voted for to call you a racist and stuff like that, because you're pale skin, you're white.
I mean, I was born this way. It's not my fault.
Here's the thing. You're racist to everyone else, but no one can be racist towards you because you're white.
I know. But to your point, what I think should happen, my personal opinion, fuck it. Pull the cops out, pull the National Guard out, pull the Marines out, let it burn. Let it burn to the fucking ground. Well, that way, millions and millions of people will see how a lawless city will actually burn. And then people will actually wake up and like, oh shit, that's not what we want. We want law and order. Well, no shit, we gave you the option for it and you didn't want it. Now you want law and order? Here's the consequences.
So, Joe, to help you out here,
Matt,
I don't know the
I can't
West
hear you.
Coast that much. Can you hear me now?
Got nothing, Matt.
This guy.
It's a
good thing we hired him for his beauty.
I know. He should just take his shirt off the rest of the show.
Oh, don't do that. I have to put like stars.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Text this guy. Let's text this guy. Oh, there he goes. He's off now. He's offline.
So
yeah, let the city burn.
Well, but again, to your point, I agree with you, but I also think that we should use the resources to get the innocent people out of there and get them over to different states that they'll be safe, and the rest of the motherfuckers that want to stay there and cause damage and stuff, guess what? Have at you. And guess what? Once it's all burned to the ground,
no federal money.
Ain't nobody coming in to fix it. You got to deal with it.
So here's Gavin Newsom now. We're suing Donald Trump. This is a manufactured crisis. He is creating fear and terror to take over a state militia and violate the U.S. Constitution. The legal order he signed could allow him to send the military into any state he wishes. Every governor, red or blue, should reject this outrageous overreach. There's a hyperbole out there. This isn't that. No, it only seems to happen in big Democratic cities.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen in red cities. Why?
Well, you want to know why? A couple reasons. One, red cities don't put up with the bullshit. They're going to squash a protest before it gets out of control.
Oh, are you going to say try this in the small town?
Two, I got bad news. Guess what? In a blue state, you try to break in somebody's house or break into a building or set it on fire, they can't protect themselves. In a red state, fucking try to light my house on fire. You're going to walk away very unhappy.
Or not walk away at all.
Or not walk away at all.
You might have to limp outside.
But nonetheless, you leaving unhappy, I'll tell you that right now.
You guys hear me now?
Can you hear you now? Yeah! We got that back.
We're live.
All right, now,
So
Matt,
let's go back to
yeah, go ahead.
let's go back to what Josh was saying about those fires. Let it burn to the ground. Joe, I think you'll like this a little better. I think those winds blow north over there. What's that next state up?
Oregon.
The mighty Oregon.
And
Your second favorite state.
well, hold on. Before we move on to that, I know that Joe wants to talk about this Oregon kid. So, with the riots this past weekend, there was something that came out that said there is all around the country, there's planned protests in every big major city. So it could get very, very interesting this weekend on Saturday.
But
Just
we're
throwing that
safe.
out there.
Cincinnati's not a big city.
Cincinnati, we are known for rioting too.
Nah.
I live in Harrison. I'm okay.
Yeah, you're okay, you dick.
That's
They
because
don't come out here.
nobody riots in the farms.
Nope. It's not farmland anymore, though.
Fire out, we're going to tip us some cows.
Reason it's good ice out here.
I mean, it could be. West Harrison, I mean, I was just walking to West Harrison. I've seen some crazy people out there. Oh, wait, never mind. That was just a crackhead coming from JTM.
Must have saw yourself in the local mirror.
Matt, so what you were saying about the fires moving north. So, again, talking about stupidic, absolutely ridiculous and stupid idiocracy champions of the world. So, there's an Oregon middle school that this past week was celebrating Pride Week, okay? Not just Pride Month.
Which is fine. Which is fine, right?
Not just Pride Month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pride Week, which is fine. Here's the thing.
No, we all know Joe hates Pride Month.
I don't hate Pride
Week.
Pride Day.
Look.
That's it.
No.
They get a day.
Yeah.
They get a day like...
Joe, settle down. Get your stuff together first, Joe, before you think.
All right.
I want you to cry again.
Anyway, I ain't fun. Anyway. Okay. So, again, preemptively, I'm going to say, I have nothing against Pride Week, Pride Month, Pride Day. I don't fucking care. Love who you want to love. Okay?
You just don't get a month, goddammit!
You shouldn't get a month. Okay. But here's where my problem is. Remember I said, the only time I'm against you loving who you want to love and doing whatever you want to do is if it harms people or harms children. Well, Oregon Middle School this past week hosted Drag Day, encouraging students to cross-dress during Pride Week. Students were told to dress like a drag queen or king and to dress like their queer hero. Those are the quotes, not mine, quotes from Fox News, from different media sources, their queer hero during the school week's Pride Spirit Week. Okay? So
you're saying everything on the internet's true?
Look, if I could get rid of the media in general, it'd be fan-fucking-tastic. But here's the problem. there's so much misinformation out there that you just got to do research. And when you have 20 different sites all saying very similar things, you start to use a brain. You can start to piece things together. But no, you can't.
Are you saying you fact checked everything? You used your brain?
You got to fact check. Yes.
Sound like a Republican.
It's an amazing concept, isn't it?
But you're still mad because someone gets a whole month and you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm happy, Matt. Matt, listen, I am very happy that you get your whole month. Okay, very happy for that. I don't think you deserve it, but I'm happy for you. Okay,
Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
no problem. That's so. But again, when you cross the line of indoctrinating children, okay, these kids are so susceptible to persuasion. So, this is where the problem comes in, where the separation between Democrats and Republicans come into play, is because people are like, oh, no, we're not indoctrinating children. Yes, you are. Look, as an adult, theoretically, and I say theoretically because let's face it, we're getting more and more stupid adults that don't know how to differentiate actual information from make-believe. But when you tell an adult something, they have enough experience, they have enough maturity that they can start to process the information and they can make hopefully an educated decision that's going to affect their lives forever. Okay? They can make that decision. That's also why when you become an adult, consequences tend to be more permanent. Okay? If you get in a fight in school, you might get suspended for a couple days. You get in a fight as an adult, it goes on your record, it prevents you from getting certain you don't have access to certain things. Okay, so it's more permanent. When you start to indoctrinate children into this whole bullshit of, oh, well, little Johnny likes to play with dolls because he's 2 years old and he doesn't understand the difference between a man and a woman because his brain has not developed to the point where he can process that. But you know what? He says he's a girl, so I'm going to go with that. And yes, you're a girl, baby. And so now I'm going to dress you like a girl. Then you got middle schoolers that at that age are trying to fit in. They're just now starting to get into social groups. They're starting to develop. Their hormones are kicking in. So you have all these different things. They're trying to get a self-identity of themselves, which won't develop even through high school. And now you're saying, hey, you know what? I want you to dress up like a boy or a girl and your favorite queer hero. Okay? Problem with that is not the queer part. The problem is, why does it have to be your queer hero? Why couldn't it be dressed like your fucking hero? That's the part that kills me.
Yeah, so there's one thing that I was looking at a bunch of different websites. I don't know which one's true, which one's not. But this one came up is that allegedly parents were notified after the events began.
Again, what we talked about last week, that's the bullshit behind it too.
It's not right. Parents should have access to should have pre-knowledge of what their kids are being taught and what their kids are being introduced to.
I'll be suing the shit out of that school right now.
Well, and the problem is that you have fucking judges that are so Democrat and so liberal that they're going to be like, it's okay.
Yeah, I think
you can sue the president of the United States.
I think that's the problem that we're running into now. Is everything is too political. Judges are supposed to make a decision not based off of politics. It's the rule of law, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Is these judges are starting to overstep a lot of their jurisdiction and what they can actually do. And it's hurting this country. It's not following the way the Constitution is written. Judges are starting to overstep their judicial boundaries. The president, could he be stepping over his boundaries a little bit? It's just a big ass fucking mess right now.
But Josh, I'm going to play devil's advocate because, liberals would say, we can't necessarily go word for what the Constitution says because the founding fathers that created the Constitution wouldn't have necessarily foresaw certain things. Example, the right to bear arms. The founding fathers didn't know anything about machine guns and AK-47s and all those things. So
they didn't.
So we shouldn't have those because that wasn't in the original Constitution.
Oh, here's another interesting thing about the Constitution. In Minnesota, you have to be a legal resident of the United States to apply to become a congresswoman or congressman in the state of Minnesota. You had one of the representatives stood in front of Congress and said she is here illegally. Her parents came here illegally. Therefore, she is not allowed to serve in Congress.
Well, it all depends. Like I know who you're talking about. I know who said that.
I'm not talking about Ilhan Omar. I'm not talking about Omar.
The one congresswoman stood up and she's like, I'm illegal and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But was she born here or did she come over with her parents?
I think she came over with her parents.
Okay, then she's illegal. If she was born here, then she gets...
Correct.
She's in, But since you deflected from what I was saying, liberals give that argument that the Constitution doesn't apply to certain things like that. Well, that also apply. The funny thing is the Constitution, we have to keep up with those things because the First Amendment also talks about freedom of speech. Well, guess what? The founding fathers didn't know shit about
social media,
the internet, or anything like that. So therefore, freedom of speech doesn't apply to. Did Josh just turn into a wolf? Josh, let Paige out of a headlock.
Also, they didn't know fucking a man could chop his dick off to become a woman.
Nope.
It's an amazing concept, right? That they didn't know that was possible.
Man, how times have changed.
Ta-da! Ironically enough, back when the founding fathers were around, they chopped people's dicks off as punishment, not as a reward.
I mean, honestly, I think people that molest and rape little children should have their genitals removed.
Oh,
chop that motherfucker off.
I fucking agree with that. They should be castrated like a motherfucker, and then I'd honestly put a rusty fucking hook up their ass. And I'm not talking a small one. I'm talking about one of those big black ones that Matt likes. Big fucking hook up there. No, I don't disagree at all. Yes. Just like that, Matt, only curved. Curved rusty hook, that big.
I love those angles.
But, that's the thing. It just drives me crazy. These liberals try to constantly indoctrinate people. And then, on top of that, they keep trying to change historical text. They try to change definitions. They try everything to meet their agenda.
Well, I mean, you're 100% right with their agenda. Is you can turn on 95% of the news organizations that are out there. They all say the same thing, same wording, same everything for anything that happens. At that point, you should know, hey, why is this happening with one side? Why is it always the same wording, everything the same? That should open people's eyes hey, they're hiding something. They're trying to hide the truth from you. And thank God for Jake Tapper finally stepping outside, releasing a book about the Biden mental health. People can see that they lied for years about that. What makes you... They lied about Russiagate. They lied about everything leading up to Trump being president and all these court cases. They lied about them. They continue to lie about them. And people on the have been in the middle, like myself. That's the reason why I voted for Trump, because I've seen that. I've seen the start of that. And you could tell they're lying to people.
Well, I mean, honestly.
So you mean to tell me you used your head?
I mean, I used my small head up here and not my big head down there. So yes.
Ah.
There's that liberal logic.
Yeah, see? I lied. See?
See,
Go
he
back to
admitted to
being woke
lying.
again.
Look, he admitted to lying.
I'll go
So-
woke because I'm not going to go broke, bitches.
Don't worry. Hey,
So we're talking.
Josh, don't worry. I know somebody can send you an auto pen. You're good. You're saved.
Oh, I'm so ordering an auto pen. I'm gonna make so much money copying people's autographs and selling it. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding.
Hey, maybe you'll get a pardon.
Hey, I could ask for a pardon because I did vote for him.
Send Trump
I just never
send Trump
donated any money towards his campaign.
Send him an email and say, hey, can I get a pardon for stuff I might do? And say, hey, Hunter Biden did. Why can't I?
Yeah, I know.
So talking about agenda and talking about jumping on the bandwagon of always talking bullshit or talking out of their ass, and it breaks my heart because I'll be honest with you, like, I mean, the girl's sexy as hell, like, but she's proven to me by speaking that she's dumber than shit. So let's talk about Simone Biles. Okay.
What
and
did
her
Simone Biles
bullshit.
do? Why is she in the news?
So she's in the news for calling out former U.S. swimmer Riley Gaines over transgender athlete comments. So, conversation spurred when, so Riley Gaines on Friday over the latest recent comments advocating for the exclusion of transgender athletes in women's sports. So essentially, Riley Gaines came out and said that this is not fair. Okay, this shouldn't be happening. And I'm paraphrasing here.
I think this is right after it was a Minnesota high school team that won the state champion. That their pitcher was male and identifies as female now.
I mean, I think they won. I mean, they didn't get a single hit on the dude. Like, but
You mean the woman or the dude?
The
dude. Ain't no fucking woman. I don't care what you wear.
Make it a whole
got
month
more
for that.
facial hair than Josh. So anyway, Riley Gaines was among a dozen college athletes who had filed a lawsuit against the NCAA in March of 2024, accusing it of violating their Title IX rights. So Title IX, if you're not familiar, gives women the right to have access to sports, fair sports, okay? Fair.
And equality.
And I'm glad you said equality, not equity, okay? Fucking can't stand equity. Whoever, you can shove that right up your fucking ass with the equity bullshit, okay? Equality, okay? Equality in terms of giving same opportunities, same equipment, same rights, same abilities, all these things, okay? So anyway, violating Title IX rights because, in most colleges and most high schools around the country, if there is no girl sport or team for that sport, the school does not offer a girl's version of that sport, the girl can try out for the boys' team. However, the boy cannot try out for the girl team, okay? Because the boy has multiple access to all there's a lot more boy sports, boy teams than there are girls, okay? So we're trying to provide access for ladies to to experience sports, to be able to get out there more, to have more opportunities, okay? Well, this whole transgender bullshit is fucking that all up. Because now you found this fucking loophole where I can be mediocre against men, and all I gotta do, and you can't argue with me, is say, I'm a girl. And guess what? They let them fucking race. They let them run. All this fucking
swim.
I can't wait till there's a male wrestler and he starts wrestling in the female division. I can't wait for that to happen.
Did it happen in boxing last year in the Olympics?
Yeah, but that all the tests showed she was female up until like a week ago. Then they finally found the genetic, the test that did show he was biologically male. But getting to the point with Simone Biles. Simone Biles went after Riley Gaines about the whole girls and men's sports, but it's very interesting. I want to say two facts on this. First one is she went after Riley Gaines when Riley Gaines had to race a biological male. She had to, in the NCAA.
And Biles is, and I quote, she said, "You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race."
To a
that
male.
Was said by Simone Biles to Riley Gaines.
So that leads to my
a male in the woman's race.
So that brings me to my point was Simone Biles never had to go through that. She doesn't know what it feels like to be in a race with a male or have to do gymnastics against men. Now, this is the ironic part.
They should do it. Oh, man. Men gymnasts that are transgender going against Simone Biles and see if she don't bitch and complain.
That's my point. That's the second thing I was going to bring up was back in 2017. She flat out said, if the men did women's gymnastics, I would not win any medals. She wouldn't have won any of the gold. And that's 100% absolutely true. She would not win any medals. She would not be the star she is today. She would be an unknown. Right. A complete unknown because no one would have heard of her because it would have been all men doing the women gymnastics and...
Yeah. And it's not to say she's not skilled, but she wouldn't have scored high enough or gained enough recognition to be the superstar she is.
Correct.
Like, because she'd be overshadowed by male athletes.
She wouldn't have a name because it would have been a big thing. Hey, this male, you would have heard his name. You wouldn't have heard her name. It would have been his name throughout everything that you would have heard.
The funny thing at the end of the day is this is a woman who's accomplished so many medals in the women's division that is bringing the women's records or like value up higher, but yet you want to disrespect another woman.
Well, and
who's accomplished things over the years too. Like you should be praising stuff, not praising the transgender. But again, we get it.
Again,
we're not woke like you. We're getting canceled, and that's what you're trying to do.
Here's my point: is women's rights back in the 1900s. They fought for women's rights, and now men are taking women's rights away again.
And some of these women are sticking up for the transgender community, which I get. Don't get me wrong, but you guys agree with me too. If they had a transgender Olympics separate from regular Olympics, you would do that, right?
Absolutely. I'm 100% fine with it.
That's like, hey, me and you, us three, let's go against the Special Olympics. Okay, I think we have a chance.
I don't know. Some of those Special Olympics people kick my ass.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean, when we poke the bear good enough, we get you out there and do some Roman Greco stuff.
I think might have a chance because he's got that special strength. But
no, I mean, Matt, I think you're onto something. I think there should be a separate type of division or league for
absolutely
these athletes that want to perform. They want to, and then let them go against other transgenders.
But you know what's funny about that? I 100% agree with you. We've got the regular Olympics, we've got the Special Olympics. Why not have a transgender Olympics? Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it.
You know, we'll have a.
I mean, this isn't the ringer
that they can run with.
This ain't the ringer, right? I mean,
the ringer.
Where the fuck we get ice cream? You know?
We stopped to get ice cream. When the fuck did we get ice cream? But
I mean, hold on. At the end of the day, it's all about fairness and equality, okay?
That's it.
It's just not right for men to go into women's sports, okay? Now, if you want transgender, fine. I'm okay. Be you. But keep it fair. It's as simple as that.
That's it. That's the only thing I want. I just want it to be fair. I want women to have their own shot. I want men to have their own shot. If these men that want to be women and go into women's sports, so be it. Let's have a different division for you. Let's make it fair for everybody in that category. Now, to Joe's point last week, I've yet to see a woman go into a boy sport and compete at a high level.
And Josh, that was going to be my point, is we would have, if we had a transgender Olympics, I would fucking put all my money down that 99, if not 100% of the athletes at the transgender Olympics would be trans women. So men that are dressing like women. There wouldn't be any women, like biological women dressed as men. Guarantee it.
Oh, there'll be some.
Another way, 99%, I guarantee a majority would be men.
Maybe.
And by the way, just so you know.
So you're saying there's a chance.
When Simone Biles does go against her next opposition, she will be competing against this man right here.
Oh, that's great.
I'm glad you got a picture of me in my prime.
And you were still bald.
Still in my prime.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do with these 24-inch pythons?
I mean the difference between the Ellis boys is one of them just went with it and shaved it. The other one's still holding on to the one.
What'd you say, Josh?
I was making fun of Matt's brother, Scott. I was like, one just went fully. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to shave it. The other one's still holding on to that one piece right there.
I'll give him the Homer Simpson at least look. Give him 3 pieces.
Don't. Poor guy. I'm the same way, so I can't say nothing. That's why I wear a hat.
But yeah, you do.
Can I kind of throw a curveball in here to change the subject a little bit? But you guys were kind of on it when we were talking about the Oregon thing and talking about these judges interrupted in life.
Go ahead.
What about this judge that let this guy off back in January, cuts his ankle monitor off, kills a local gym guy? You know, 2 months his ankle monitor has been off his ankle. He commits a burglary back in March. Then in May, he stabs the owner of a gym. An OTR.
Again, that's judges not using their power, because it almost feels like you got so many people above them pressuring them to do stuff like this. I honestly think they want anarchy right now. And after this, I want to turn to another situation that I kind of read and heard. But you're absolutely right. I think the judges are not doing their job anymore. This guy robbed somebody. Now he's killed somebody. He removed his ankle monitor, which should automatically process to get him picked up. And it's on CPD too, because they didn't go pick him up. Cincinnati Police Department did not go pick that guy up.
But is it on there?
Well, from what the FOP was saying, from what the FOP was saying today is they're not responsible for that. It's, I guess, his parole officer is supposed to go after him. Now, do we turn around and fire this parole officer for doing his job? Or do we yell at the judge for letting a guy who has a rap sheet of 4 to 5 pages long of violence out early?
I mean,
not
any
only
kind
that,
of violent crimes, you should not be getting out on parole
but
or
not only that,
bond or
but
probation.
by the way, this man was also heard saying that I will be cutting my ankle monitor off if I get released, and then the judge released him.
We fired the judge?
I don't think we can fire the judge. I think they have to be.
No, only a Supreme Court judge is in for life.
I mean, I think judges you have to vote most of them in. So I don't know how that works.
Don't vote his fucking ass in.
Well, they must go to our mayor. Our mayor's first 3 steps were like protect the citizens, protect the citizens, protect the citizens in our city. Are we protected by a Democrat mayor right now? No.
So they have to.
Not at all.
The judges have to be removed by the bar association. So
You're correct. They're voted in, or just the next election, you just don't vote them in.
correct. So yeah, I mean, Democrats are going to save Democrats. Republicans are going to save Republicans, no matter if that person's done good, bad, or whatnot. That's the problem with democracy right now. It's everybody's going to save another. If you can't do your job, you need to get out of there. I don't care what side of the political aisle you are. You are hired to do a job. You are voted in to do a job. Do your fucking job. That's it. Go back to your constituents and find out exactly what they want. If they voted for this, hey, I'm going to go with it. 60% of my constituents want this. Okay, that's what I'm going to vote. You don't have to go along party lines.
City council and our judges in this city are already horrible as it is.
Oh, they're
fucking joke. I don't even know what the hell he's doing that's right at all.
I mean, look.
The way he did with the fucking Bengals in Kansas City, he should have been freaking voted out after that.
Well, I mean, perfect example of local, governing bodies that don't know what the fuck they're doing, but yet magically they continue to have a job, or they continue. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but in lines with Cincinnati and stuff like that. So Cincinnati Public Schools is going to be cutting, or is supposed to be cutting, multiple jobs or putting them on freeze because they are short. They're going to be short $51 million. Now, of course, they're blaming the federal government, saying it's because the federal government's taking away our money. Okay. However, what's also funny is the mismanagement of funds by Cincinnati Public Schools. What do I mean by that? So, current superintendent makes how much?
$900,000.
No, not me.
About $250,000. Okay, $250,000 roughly. Okay. The superintendent that she replaced, guess what? Is still getting paid her contract funds, because rather than firing her for not doing her job, they let her step away from the position and said, we'll pay you out your contract over the next 3 years or 2 years, whatever it was. But she is still getting paid even though she did a shitty job. Anyone else gets fired from their job, they lose that money. So you got mismanagement of funds. You got the fact that they're trying to close schools. They're trying to merge schools. They're trying all these bullshit. And this was well before the federal government said we're taking away money. But now they're using that as a scapegoat. And it just drives me crazy that people still back Cincinnati Public Schools when they don't know how to deal their money. And they're one of the largest school districts in the state.
So let's go back to what you're saying there. So did we just sell our railroad system for $600 million?
Yep.
Is that money supposed to be funded and divvied out amongst police, school, highways, but yet we're also short 130 police officers, FOP was saying today. and at the end of the year, we'll still be short 180 because of how many people retire and getting out early, because the police and the government, or I say the local mayor stuff, isn't doing their job right. No one wants to be a police officer anymore.
Well, and that's
No one.
And that's I was going to get to that, Matt. Is, I mean, even if we had the funds to pay for those police officer positions, nobody wants to fucking do it. Why would you?
No, you got to deal with bullshit. I mean, it depends.
It's a thankless job now, and let's be honest. Most police officers don't even do traffic stops anymore because they're afraid they're going to be on fucking TikTok or YouTube being called a racist, and then they're going to be the next big show, and then they're going to lawsuit. So why even fucking bother?
Yeah, we had an off-duty sheriff get run over by another person because his son got shot by a different cop and took it out on someone else.
Yep.
And how much?
But yet he has the right to sue us for $20 million, or the police, I should say, not us, the police, because he wasn't processed right. You shouldn't have any rights. You literally killed someone, ran him over, full speed.
Well, I mean, that's why he's gonna put in the thing that he was mentally incapable of making that decision, and so I think that's the way he's going to plead, and his lawyer's going to probably make him plead that way.
See, but here's the problem. This goes back to similar to the Carmelo Anthony bullshit. So there's a fine line between spur of the moment and premeditated. Okay. The minute he stopped the car in the middle of the road. And I know I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying, the minute he stopped in the middle of the road, identified the police officer, and waited till all other people were out of the way, he premeditated that he was going to kill that cop. Okay? He didn't just barrel into a group of people, so you can't say, oh, I was just insane, blind rage, and I drove my car. No. You stopped your car and waited till everyone else was clear. That's premeditation. Right there, first-degree murder.
Correct. And his thing is, to back you up on this, if there were skid marks, there would have been a mental incident there. But there is no skid marks. It's a straight shot, straight line, killed the officer.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what you're doing at the pinpoint in time.
Yep.
And the funny thing is like people think premeditation means hours or minutes or days. No. He could have been driving around stressed out. But the fact that he stopped his car and waited until everyone was clear and then ran the officer over, premeditation for murder. And then the fact that he's going to do this $25 million lawsuit, I pray to God that they throw the fucking book at this guy. And throw out his lawsuit. Like, this is bullshit.
I don't think he's going to have a lawsuit. I think maybe they would do a civil lawsuit against CPD for the killing of their son.
No. Motherfucker. Running?
For what? For breaking the law?
Right.
I'm just saying that guy's got no case for that 25 against. Who's he going to sue? Who's he suing?
Well, who are you going to sue for civil? Who are you going to sue for civil?
Well, no, they could call it a wrongful death against CPD for shooting the kid
that was armed with a gun.
Does he had a gun pointed at him?
I understand that. I'm just saying.
That's called reducing the stupidity population.
No, I completely understand that. I understand that.
Josh was just playing their part for a second. That's all he was doing.
Yeah,
I know.
Please.
I know.
Let a fucking man get a word in, goddammit.
Well, as soon as there's a man
Poor Josh,
talking,
you keep yawning every 5 seconds, even though you took a nap. How are you supposed to get a word if you're yawning?
See, look, I let Matt talk.
I'm trying to get you excited with my mouth open up.
Until your shake wakes and get over it. You need to wake up.
But yeah, I don't know. It just amazes me the stupidity in the world. And
But if you think about it, for the last several weeks, we've been talking about different subjects and different things. At the end of the day, it comes back to politics. It comes back to like ideology. Like it's just weird this way this country's getting this day and age. It really is. Like you can't walk down the street without seeing something weird happening. Okay,
So,
I mean you really can't.
Joe, do me a favor. Put the speech that Obama said something about you pepper a little bit of the truth, but you tell lies, and that's how you can turn a society. Or I don't know all the words, but it makes perfect sense on how we are today. You spread a little bit of misinformation, and then you have the media take it, and then it balloons out, and then you get the masses to believe it. Once you got the masses to believe it, it's game over.
Josh, you talking about when we had President Barack?
Barack. Not
Sorry.
Brock Lesnar. Barack
So are you talking about
Hussein Obama.
Are you talking about the real man behind it, his wife?
I mean, we all know Joan Rivers came out and told us. Just saying.
Technically, would she be our first woman president?
Yeah. Or man. Something.
Yeah,
Joe, did you find it?
I'm looking.
Hold on. To be continued, right?
So while Joe's looking at that, I think what I was going to go back to before was I was reading an article earlier today that I think it was Alex Jones who actually said it. It's like, this is a potential for a false flag event happening. Like, if you get the military in LA or any of these big cities and they accidentally shoot and kill a citizen, you're setting yourself up for a false flag event to where then you're almost going to cause a civil war. So there's, and I think they had this, like, John Podesta actually is the one who kind of wrote this whole thing about a civil war. It's like his plan, like game planned it perfectly out, similar to how everything's shaking out. So it's very interesting. So what do these elites actually want? Do they want a civil war? Is this a bigger way to do a which I did hear, a land grab in LA? Are they trying to burn the city down so they can grab the land cheap and do what they want with it? Is this a way?
How about, I don't know. There was a movie made a couple years ago with The Rock in it. What was that called? With the big old earthquake in California?
San Andreas?
Oh, yeah, that one. Maybe we just need to let that happen somehow. Get rid of California. This country would be a lot better off. I mean, let's be honest. These people, what they want to do is they want, it seems like entertainment at everyone's cost. That's it. At the end of the day.
Here you go.
Everyone's worried about ratings, money. They just don't care no more about the way this country was forthcoming. Like Joe said, veterans should have a month, you know?
100%.
Not the rainbow. But
Here, listen. Tell me if you can hear this.
No.
Can you hear it?
No.
you can read it to us, though, Joe.
I can't read.
I mean, Josh said he read earlier, which I don't believe him, so his wife read it to him.
Yeah, I mean, she does read a lot of stuff to me.
All right. Tell me if you
You have to believe in that. Without facts, there's no basis for cooperation. If I say this is a podium and you say this is an elephant, it's going to be hard for us to cooperate.
This isn't the video I was talking about, but
I can find common ground for those who oppose.
Wow. It actually is.
Makes sense, though, what he's talking about this day and age.
It is. I got to find the...
If you have a wiener, you're a male. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. Was that in Kindergarten Cop?
Girls have vaginas. Boys have penises.
Prove it. It's just so sad that stuff we have to argue about in life like that. The agenda of a gender. Like, if you want to feel like you're a woman, go be a woman. That's fine. Okay? Enjoy your life. Go be a male. Go enjoy your male life. Don't throw your agenda on us on certain platforms that affects other people. It's just hard to understand that. Like, if you want to be a woman, go be a woman. Play women's sports, or play male sports, however you want to do it, Don't pick on that other gender. But that's what they want to do. They want to cancel because that's what they do. If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. So I'm trying to find this video too.
Well, I've got the video. I just need to find the spot.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, I mean, what's going on in this country? It's very sad. It kind of all started, and I know Joe gets pissed at me for saying this. I mean, I honestly think 911 was an inside job to a point. I think there was.
I'm with you.
I think there was some terrorist activities, but I still believe it was a partial inside job. That way they could come out with the Patriot Act, enact that onto the American people. And from there on, you slowly see the rights getting taken away from American citizens for the next, 25 years now? 24 years? 24? Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Almost 24, sorry. It just seems like the government is starting to overstep their boundaries. And we're seeing it all across the world right now. Look at UK. UK's a fucking shit show with these immigrants coming in and taking over. Ireland's going through the same shit right now as us. There's a reason why these people don't want to be in their own country. They're trying to spread their bad stuff in somewhere else so they can take over the world. It's exactly what they want. They've said that from the beginning.
That's the thing. They can do that stuff when they come to another country, but come in the process the right way.
Oh, I'm talking about they're trying to take over. Like, they don't want your beliefs anymore. They want you. They're trying to take over everything, and that's what people don't realize. They're trying to take over the world. They want the world run one way, and they're slowly doing it by spreading the misinformation, by doing exactly what they're doing, protesting, destroying livelihoods with this stuff. It's pretty sad when you've got a group of people in America lighting the flag on fire and holding a Mexico flag, a Palestine flag. Why aren't you over there? Why'd you come to America then? I guarantee if you did that in your own country, you'd be fucking killed. But you're gonna come to America and do it.
You know what's beautiful about that saying a little bit is, in America you can do that because you have the freedom to do that without being killed. But there is processes to go about doing that, and they don't give a shit because when you do it in a Democrat city or a Democrat state, they let you get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Jason Aldean's songs try that in a small town. You don't see that in small towns. They don't put up with it.
You don't. We don't.
So, I mean, you'll have a bunch of ugly-ass farmers like Matt coming after you with his 24-inch pythons. Oh, baby!
Is it queer to you?
Is this clear? Is this clear? Are these clear?
How about talk to Mike 1? Back up, Mike.
I love that movie, Joe Dierte.
You gonna finish that apple core? If not,
Oh shit. Joe, did you find it yet?
No, it's not. Like,
No. All right, that's your homework to go find next time.
fuck you and your homework.
yeah, we'll start off with something next week.
What, are you videotaping us? Like, what are you?
Yeah,
Phone in
I'm
front of
putting
the
you guys
camera,
all on
okay.
blast now.
He's trying to cancel us for making fun of his sexuality.
No, he just wants to record us for a shake weights later on.
Oh.
He's pulling an all-nighter. He already took a nap.
I'll probably be pulling on. I probably won't be able to sleep. About to take me some gummies. Is that legal? I forgot. Are we in the state that's legal?
I mean, California lets you burn shit down. Ohio should let you.
Take a little gummy
They
bear.
let you burn it, but you got to smoke it to burn it.
Right.
Yeah, and that what makes zero sense. Like literally, we just seen LA burn almost to the ground in the Palisades. Yet they're lighting these cars on fire. When California's a freaking torch ready to go up anyway. Like one of them embers burns. What if that catches everything else on fire?
Play stupid games.
That's why I said to Joe earlier, hopefully it blows north a little bit more for those drag queens, those skirts.
I thought you were talking
Yeah, I
about
gotta
going up
see
to San Francisco for that one.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
All right, so I want to talk about your thoughts on this one. To get out of politics a little bit, let's do some sports. Big news over the weekend really was the Pittsburgh Steelers getting a brand new quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers. What's your guys' take? Now the Bengals are going to have to see Aaron Rodgers twice a year for this one
Now
year.
you went into politics again because you got a hippie playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I didn't go into
I'm okay
politics.
with
I didn't say. I was talking about sports. God damn it!
I mean, I'm okay with seeing Aaron Rodgers twice a year because, I mean, let's face it, they're going to have to push him out in a fucking wheelchair first.
I mean, maybe. I mean, so I mean, I think that's the difference between like the Jets and the Steelers. The Steelers have a pretty good team. They made the
Josh, I think you're forgetting one good person not at camp right now. Wants a new contract, or he's not playing.
Who's that?
TJ Watt.
Oh, he'll get a new contract. I ain't worried about that. They're gonna pay him. I think he's gonna end up breaking the freaking Myles Garrett contract.
Market.
I think he's gonna get 42 mil per year, and he deserves it.
I'm just saying they're good defensively. Pittsburgh is right now, and you got a good coach, but do they have the person to get them to the next step in Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, they made the playoffs last year with Russell Wilson, and
But for the record,
I think
though,
Rodgers is the better quarterback than Wilson.
I mean, as much as I hate the Steelers, let's be honest. I mean, they've never had a losing season in how many years?
17 or 18 years under Mike Tomlin at all. They've
Right.
never had a losing season under Mike Tomlin.
So that
Okay, and you know what? Congratulations, but they also have as many victories in the last 15 years as the Jets do in the playoffs. 2.
Hey, you know
What's that saying?
You know what's crazy is the Bengals have more playoff wins than the Ravens, Browns, and Steelers in the last 5 years, 10 years. Interesting
yeah, well,
factor
if we don't
too.
get our heads out our asses, people will beat us on that one. So
But-
we need to.
No, I mean, I think with the weapons that the Steelers have, I think this division, I think the AFC North is a different beast now. I think if it was Mason Rudolph, I think the Steelers they might have went 500 or one game over 500 with Rodgers. I think 6 or 7 losses. I would say. I think they're going to be a better team under him than they were under Russell Wilson. He still has a really good tight end. He's got a really good receiver. He lacks the number 2 though. So
Well, since you're talking about the division, let me ask you this: name a division other than the AFC North that is as big of a dogfight.
the NFC North.
What was your question, Joe?
There was 3 teams in the playoffs in the NFC North last year.
I
So,
know. I know.
He asked, besides the AFC North, what other division in football is going to be a dogfight?
Is essentially a dogfight. And, I mean, he's right. The NFC North was... But,
and then to a point, the AFC or the NFC West was like that too.
They had 3 too?
No, but I mean, they had... If the 49ers weren't injured, I think they'd be in the running. Seattle missed it by a game, but the Rams won the division last year. But you have the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers battling out year after year in that division. Arizona, who knows what's going to happen in Arizona.
You wouldn't say Seattle took a step back, like signing what's called long term?
Who's Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Don't know. I mean, Sam Darnold played really, really well in Minnesota last year, although he did have the best wide receiver in the league, second best wide receiver in the league. Sorry.
There you go. Way to recoup from that.
And then they did have a really good number 2 in Jordan Addison, similar to the Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So
and a good offensive line, and a good tight end, and a good defense.
Decent running backs. So,
I mean, I'll tell you right now, like, if the Bengals' offensive line can protect Burrow, and the defense can hold teams to 14 points or less, we go to the Super Bowl.
That's
you can go a little bit. You can go a little bit more than that. Go up to 21 points. I think it'll be a shootout every damn week. But again, Bengals just released a good linebacker today, which I'm not a big fan of, but he knew our system and he was a good backup.
Well, he knew Lou's system. He doesn't know Golden's system.
Sure.
So I think Jermaine Pratt was so up and down last year. I think he had more down than up. He missed so many tackles. He just wasn't in position a lot of the times. He just seemed out of whack. Ever since Logan Wilson got hurt, just completely seemed like he was out of whack.
I mean, honestly, you can say that just about most of the defense because they were all out of whack.
I mean, that's the problem. I don't think your number of 14 points. I think the Bengals are gonna have to win in shootouts because I don't think the defense is gonna stop too many people right now.
Well,
hopefully I'm wrong.
Right now,
to your point,
right now you don't have your best defense end, or you don't have your rookie defense end right now signed.
Well,
no,
I mean you got your sack leader signed, yes, but he's not going to show up as of right now. Let's see.
And then you've got. I don't think we went out. I guess we're going to keep Battle as our second safety now. I think he pretty much solidified his spot. Who knows what Dax Hill is going to look like when he comes back? Who knows what DJ Turner is going to look like when he comes back? They are both injury the last couple years, so they haven't played a lot. I know everybody hates the other kid on the other side.
Cam Taylor-Britt?
I love him. I like Cam Taylor-Britt. Yes, he does miss some big plays, but he does come up big in other spots. So I do really like him. Defensively, it's hard to say. Your offensive line comment, the NFL just came out and said the Bengals, they didn't do enough on the offensive line. They would still be ranked like 29th in the league with their offensive line. They needed to go out.
I saw number 22, the right behind the Browns, round of 21.
I think they can make a move to go get a guard, and I think that will help them. They have Dalton Reisner that's out there, and then Brandon Scherf that's out there that we could go. Go do it. Protect Joe Burrow. Let your rookies start behind him and let him learn. If you can beat him out in training camp, so be it. Then we've got a good backup in case somebody goes down.
I found a video of Josh giving a motivational speech to Cam Taylor-Britt. You want to see it?
All right, let's see it.
All right.
Hey, Junior.
Every day, and he'd always beat me. But one time, I beat him.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill?
Yes, I did. He ate my dust.
Big deal. One time. You know?
All it takes. One time.
I stopped the play one time. That's all it takes. One time.
Or we could beat them one time. Gotta like
So,
little
Josh,
guys.
that looks like one of your pep talks where you went half retard, not full retard. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, you're not allowed saying that word anyway. That's
Yeah,
a bad
apparently
word.
there
Do
was
not
a-
say that.
There was a
It's a bad
protest that
word.
said you can't say the R word.
Now you're gonna be canceled.
You can't say the R word.
Matt just got canceled.
Boom.
Video interference tonight. It feels like it.
Joe set us up for failure tonight.
I
Just
did
saying.
not. I can't help it that he's probably got his vibrator on. It's distorting the fucking video feed.
Charging. I got the shake weight charging too.
All right, my friends. Well, we are going to call tonight there. We will be back.
Oh, wow.
So,
Big news. Big news.
Uh-oh. What? Breaking news.
Jey Uso lost the belt tonight on Monday Night Raw.
And we'll
That
talk about
was the
that
smartest thing to do.
next week on Idiocracy Talk Radio. My friends, make sure we make sure everything loads before we leave. Thanks for joining. I'm Dr. B. This is Matt, and we got Josh, aka LA is burning down. Let the motherfucker burn. Get all the innocent people out.
Night. Yeah.
It's
You like them
idiocracy,
big
but you
dicks
gon'
right
see
there.
the value and respect though when you talk with me. So come on, baby, walk with me. It ain't a topic that the crew can't touch. Share our views and our vibe. What we hide? It ain't much. This ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Share our thoughts and our views, you can't stop it. Said this ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Idiocracy, tell us what's the topic. Yeah.
You guys done?
Wow. No, it was my beard.